Hello there, welcome to Chipola College Television with Chipola Athletics. I have with me the ladies Indians basketball team coach, Greg Franklin. How you doing, Greg?
Roy?
How was Thanksgiving, sir?
It was good. It was really good. We had a really good Thanksgiving dinner with the kids that stayed back here in Marianna. We had some ladies that pitched in and did a nice job with our Thanksgiving dinner, and our kids were very grateful for that. Made it very homey. Made it like they were at home.
Some folks might be watching this about Christmas time, so we'll have to do some more on Christmas too, won't we?
Yep.
All right, well, Coach, you played some games the last few days. Talk about some of the places y'all been and what y'all done.
Well, the last two ball games, well, the last four. We dropped one against Shelton State, and unfortunately we had a very tough loss in terms of not just losing the game, but also losing a player. Our returning point guard, Atiana Gilmore, went down in the third quarter. And unfortunately for her, she's finished for the season. She'll have surgery sometime this week.
Does that mean she's redshirted?
Unfortunately for her, she went over the quota of games that you can possibly play
really?
in.
How many?
6.
See, really?
Yep, he's right at the verge. So
yeah.
She'll sit out this year and she'll move on somewhere next year. But she had a terrible injury to her knee. I mean, she tore MCL, ACL, anterior. I mean,
everything.
It
Well,
was
has
bad.
she already had the operation?
She's having it this week. She's at
Yeah.
pre-op right now.
And we're videoing
as we
this
speak.
the first week in December.
Yes, sir. And we dropped that game. She went down in the third quarter, and we were up by about, I think it was 12 or 14, something like that at the time. We just spiraled after that. I mean, it was unfortunate. Our kids looked like they were in the clouds. But Shelton is a good team. Don't get me wrong. They're a really good team. But, missed 7 out of 8 free throws in the last 2.5 minutes.
So y'all been practicing free throws?
We've been getting up every morning at 6, and we're shooting our free throws.
Well, what's the rule there?
Huh?
What is the rule? If you miss one in the game, what do you got to do?
Well, our goal is to shoot 72% as a team.
Why 72?
Well, I think that's just a magic number for me. I mean, 72 as a team, it means we're shooting them pretty well. And that we're not going to be, get a loss because we're not shooting free throws well.
Well, I mean, the only way you get better at free throws is
Repetition.
shoot 'em.
That's right.
All right, well, we're filming this before Christmas. You still got a few games left before the break.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you expect our team to do against our conference? Have you seen any of them?
I've seen all of our conference teams play. This weekend we'll be going down to Eastern Florida. Gulf Coast will be down there as well. We played last weekend at Gulf Coast, not the 2 weekends ago, at Gulf Coast. I thought we came back after the injury, and some kids stepped up, really stepped up. I think you and I were talking before we went on air. In 2 ball games, we hit 31 threes. I mean, that's a whole lot of threes. That's some
Well, that's
kids.
the most you've ever had.
Yeah, that is. That's the most I've seen.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's a pretty good feat. Hit 15 one night and 16 the next.
Well, the big white girl, how did she do?
Demi, the Aussie.
Yeah.
She did well. She's just finding her niche, finding her role.
Well, she says you're posting her up too close. Is that true? She didn't say that. I said that.
You know what? She's taken several threes, and she's coming along. I mean, I think it has more to do mental than anything else. You miss that first couple 3, and then you're pressing yourself to make some, and then you miss those, and it just kind of snowballs. And it's kind of snowballed with our team. But the one thing we've tried to address is taking the best shot ever. Not just a great shot, but the best shot ever, and that involves us being very unselfish and turning down a good shot to get the best shot ever. So we've really made the extra pass, and I think our shooting percentage went up this past weekend because of that. That enabled us to.
Well, who you playing at point guard?
We have a really good point guard that transferred in. I don't think anybody's going to feel sorry for me because we lost Atiana, because we had a kid that was rated top 40 kid in the country coming out of high school that went to Miami University, got an injury, and then she came to us this year. Really, the rust has fallen off of her. Sometimes I feel like I'm overcoaching her.
Where is she from?
She's from Boca Raton.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm overcoaching her a little bit because, we're involving other people in the play. Towards the end, I just said, y'all get out of her way. Let her go. I didn't have to call a timeout and say, hey, I want to introduce you to. She's already got the ball in her hand, so why was I messing with it anyway?
Yeah.
Just get out of the way. Don't mess with her.
Well, when you do see girls do like this, does that mean y'all back up and let me see if I can't go to the basket, or is that just a?
Yeah,
I mean, obviously.
A lot of times when we're finishing ball games, this year we'll run a lot of 1-4 flat. Just let her create, let her make plays in the last 2.5, 3 minutes. You know, and it's not necessarily she's going to take the shot, but you know, if she's finishing shots, then you got to help. Then we kick. Somebody gets a really good shot.
Well, you remember last year when Gilmore, you know, you finally said go to the basket and then dish it out, which she did, and she got to where she was good. But then they realized what she was going to do. She'd fake that dish out and then lay it up against the glass. She got a little more too aggressive there near the end of the year sometime because she thought she could go to the basket every time.
Yeah, and that was something that with her, I hate it because she got injured because she was really maturing as a player.
Yeah.
You know, and you say this, we had an injury to Jayla Hobbs last year, and our team kids stepped up. Thus far, you know, we've had this injury here, and I felt like our team has kind of bonded together, and players are stepping up. I hate it for Atiana because she's such a great player, and we need her. But, you know, it's one of those things where our team has kind of got a little bit more of a bond in trying to figure out who's going to play that role, who's going to pick up the slack. Okay, here I am, Coach, I'm stepping up. You know, and I've been pleased with those that have stepped up in the play to try to cover the loss.
Well, why did you lose the game?
Why did we lose the game?
Yeah. Kids went berserk a little.
Yeah, we did. We went a little bit haywire, but you know what? I've got kids playing in important positions right now that haven't been there. I mean,
Never been there.
Never been there. You know, and they were the best player on their team in high school. The coach said, okay, here's the ball, go score it. Okay, on the other side of the ball, go steal it.
Yeah.
Instead of being able to play team on both sides and understand it and be able to finish the game, we kind of were like that right there instead of being that right there. You know, we were five individuals out there instead of being a team and clutching that fist together and popping somebody straight in the mouth. You know, and then when you do pop them in the mouth, you pop them again. And we kind of got up by 14 and let them back in, let them have some life, and then we get up again, we let them have some life instead of being a mature team and just taking somebody completely out.
Well, how do they know when to shoot the three?
Well, you know, that's a feel, and that's the beautiful thing about our team. I feel like our ceiling's so high because we're just figuring each other out right now, but still winning against good basketball teams by 30. You know, and we lost one, that's okay. That's all right. I mean, I know people around here, they're coming up to me in the gym going, I can't believe it. You lost. I'm going, well, we're human. It's going to happen. I mean, I know you guys in the last 3 years, we haven't lost a whole lot, but it's going to happen.
Well, I think that helps, though, doesn't it, Coach, on getting their attention a little more?
Uh-huh.
I mean, they know that possibility is still there.
Right. And, you know, that's the thing, too. Last year we lost against Northwest Florida for no other reason than our kids weren't listening. I mean, we walked out of the huddle last year, and we're talking about how talented our kids were last year, and our talent level is deeper this year. But walking out of the huddle 5 or 6 times over at Northwest Florida, and I just said, we're going to run this in the huddle. And then we walk out, and 2 seconds later, they look back at me and say, what are we running?
Forgot. They weren't paying attention.
See, that's the whole thing. And, you know, there's 2 things you got to handle, I think. 2 things you got to handle throughout the season is, number one, is adversity, and the other one pertaining to us because we have been so successful is success. I mean, you can't handle success and think well, we've arrived, we're here. Okay, we can't be beat. You know, we're so successful, and the tradition is so rich. Well, all we got to do is come out here and just, hey, we're here. We win by 40. There you go.
Yeah.
And I remember last year, and I took it from Coach Ariyama. When they lost at Stanford the first game of last year, now they've won 40 some odd in a row. He said, people are coming up to me and he said, I've got the most ignorant fans in the world. They don't think that we can be beat. He said, anytime we can get beat. But the thing is that we can beat anybody. And I told my kids yesterday, we had a very spirited practice. They were up and down the court quite a few times without a basketball in their hands.
Yes, sir.
But I told them, you know, hey, guys, you guys have to stay intense and win the day because somebody else is coming after you because you've got a huge bullseye on your back.
Yes, sir.
Huge. I mean, you're a team that's been to the Elite Eight first year, the Final Four the second year, finished third, and then you won a national championship. You don't think this is everybody's Super Bowl? This is everybody's Super Bowl when they play. You have to be better than just what you are right now. You have to be the best that you can be every day.
Well, have you had that kid that the eyes have opened when they were used to scoring 20 points a game, then all of a sudden they're happy with 10 because we're winning? You understand what I'm asking?
Yeah, and that's where we're at right now. You know, it's okay. You know, we had kids last year. We had 6 go Division I. One of those kids that signed Division I scored 2.5 points a game. It's okay. Yeah. It's okay. You're a part of a team. That's what happens. You have to sacrifice. Nothing great goes without cost. Nothing great goes without cost. And our kids, they got to realize that. I mean, because you and I were talking about, we put the ball in your hands, go score.
Yeah.
On the other side, go steal it. No, it's not necessarily like that. You have to be a part of the team. You have to be a cog in the wheel. And for them to buy into that, and us being such a young team with so many really good, talented freshmen, I mean, really talented. Like I said, we hit 31 threes. Well, all 31 of those were hit by freshmen. I mean, it's crazy. It is how talented they are, but also how unknowledgeable they are, and how they don't understand, you know, how to be a great team day in, day out. When the shots aren't falling, what do we need to do? We need to rely on our defense. Well, defense is just a prelude to offense, Coach. You know, hey, well, I'm just doing this just to be standing here. I hope they miss, but, you know, I'm going down. I'm shooting on the other end. So,
well, what was your report on some of the kids that you sent to D1 last year?
Evelyn is averaging a double-double for the University of Kentucky.
What does that mean for somebody that doesn't know?
Points and rebounds. Also, one of the league leaders in shot blocks and steals in the SEC right now. Of course, they hadn't got into conference play, so.
Well, every time I see Kentucky ladies are playing, I want to see when they're playing, but I haven't actually watched her yet.
They'll be on the SEC network in the second half of the season.
Yeah.
They'll have some here pretty soon. I actually think she plays Northern Kentucky tonight. She texted me before we went on air and told me she was playing tonight, and I told her good luck. And, you know, the normal thing she does. She always texts me every morning.
Well, I heard she's assistant coach there.
Well, that's what the head coach called me, Matthew, and he goes, "Hey, Coach," he said, "Evelyn's doing great. This is not a complaining phone call. This is something I just wanted to tell you." He said, "You know, she sets the bar so high on how hard everybody's got to work, but she's telling everybody how to make post moves right now, or what we're supposed to be doing in the post. She's telling me post drills we're supposed to be doing." I'm going, "Well, that's Evelyn. I'm just telling you." But Kendra Martin is doing well. She's at Fresno State,
right?
Getting some playing time. You know, she's coming off the bench. Jayla Hobbs is redshirting because of her knee. She's at Texas Southern, still hurting. And then we've got Tiffany Lewis, transferred to Auburn. She'll be at Auburn next year.
She gonna get to play?
She will get to play.
Good.
She'll play. I talked to their assistant the other day. She's doing well. And Tiffany was always a fireball anyway. She'll be fine. But we've got a couple at Alabama State.
Yeah, they're in Montgomery.
Yep, they're doing well. You know, past that, Sue Key is. I just had a phone call about her. She's taking another class right now. I just had Baylor call me and ask me about her, and I think they're going to offer her, so she'll probably be at Baylor next year.
Wow, that is good.
Yeah.
Well, we're looking forward to a good season.
I hope.
But we don't want any more losses, Coach. What are we going to do?
I tell you, I probably, after we lost the game, unfortunately, we had a men's game right after that, and I went to the men's game and had people come at me just starry-eyed, like, what are you doing? How are you messing this up? What's happening here? I'm going, well, I mean, it's going to happen, you know.
Yeah.
The inevitable will happen, but I never like to say there's a good loss, but this young team, getting their attention and you know, making them pay attention to detail and pay attention to things that really matter, because you and I were talking at lunch, you know, the AAU basketball, the travel ball waters down, you know, these kids' mentality, their culture towards the game. They just, okay, I played this one, I'm going to play 4 more today. It's not like, hey,
Yeah, this one's the only one that counts.
and then I'm going to get a medal no matter what. So why am I getting so upset? But that's the mentality of a lot of these kids. And then when you get them, especially the ones that are highly touted, highly recruited, which we've got 4 or 5 that were in the top 100 last year, and all of them being guards, and they're all kind of pampered and coddled a little bit. And then big bag Coach G comes in. He might raise his voice every once in a while, just every once in a while. Not often, but they don't know how to take it because everybody's told them what they wanted to hear, not what they need to hear.
Well, we've got this year now with our conference games in January and February. We have 2 Saturday nights and 4 Tuesday nights, or Wednesday, which I think one of them is, but I don't know. But so we only got 2 Saturday nights, so we expect a lot of good folks to come on those nights because the money, that's when we make the most money through the gate concessions, is the Saturday night games.
And our men's team is playing a lot better right now. I watch them, and Coach Campbell's doing a tremendous job with them. They're playing a lot better. Look like they're coming together as a unit. I know he was frustrated first year with their defense, kind of echoing what I was saying a little bit. I could empathize with him.
He's got a lot of talent too.
He does.
And
He does.
Would you rather have a kid with not quite as much talent that's hungry, or would you rather have one that's got a lot of talent don't really want to play as hard?
I want the one that wants the food, one that wants to eat, one that wants to play hard. I mean, you can here's the thing: if you can find an athletic kid, maybe not as skilled, maybe not as talented or whatever, an athletic kid that wants to play hard and wants to listen, you can build on that.
Yep. And
wants to be part of a team. That's the key nowadays. I mean, a lot of kids don't see the sacrifice that goes into the team. It's that old saying. I heard Jeff Van Gundy, saw a quote of him the other day, said, "Are you playing with us or are you playing for us?" There's the difference. Are you playing for us? If you're playing for us, that's good. But if you're just playing with us, I can't deal with that.
Well, that's what school is about, though. This is a school team.
That's right.
So when they leave here, obviously we must be doing something right because they're doing it well where they're going.
I had an interesting article in ESPN Women's Magazine. They were talking, they were interviewing UConn's team, and it echoed what I was just talking about, playing for us. He said, I don't want to let Jefferson down. I don't want to let Stewie down. I want to make sure that I'm in the moment, present, right now, doing what I can, so she knows I got her back. Now, there's a reason why they've won 10 national championships, and that's the culture that they have there. Is that goes from top down. This is important.
Well, who's going to be the best team other than Chipola in the conference? Do you know yet?
I think Gulf Coast has got a nice team. And Coach Scoville will coach them up. She needs to be a little tougher on them. I'm just kidding. I enjoy talking to her quite a bit because
she's a good coach.
She's a good coach, and you know what? I get tickled at her and Grover how they just kind of say one of them will start the sentence, the other one will finish it.
But sometimes they don't agree, though. It's what I like.
Oh, that's even better.
I mean, sometimes he gets so excited for what they're doing, and she doesn't agree with him. But hey, they're winning.
That's right. That's right. They're a good basketball team. I think Tallahassee's going to have a nice squad. They're young as well. Pensacola, I've seen some good looks out of them. Northwest Florida is rated pretty high right now.
Are we still at the number 1 position?
We are. I think we'll drop after this week, after the new poll comes out. I think we'll probably be in that top 5 somewhere. But I'd rather be there. I'd rather somebody not be looking at me so much.
That's right. They'll be watching them.
Well,
Coach, I appreciate you being here. We'll try to do one more show before Christmas, right before, or maybe even during right before we start the conference. Our first conference game is January the 2nd on Saturday night at home here with Gulf Coast.
Yep.
That ought to be interesting. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, buddy.
Folks, you've seen it right here on Chipola College Television with Chipola Athletics. Go on our website, go to their website and the college website and see what's happening, and we'll keep up with it. But we expect you to be at some of our games. So I appreciate Coach Franklin, but most of all, I appreciate your supporting Chipola College.